This is Red King from Critical Hit. At the time of our recording, we did a segment during our top 10 part 4 in gaming. We talked a little bit about Chrono's entry. Won't spoil it yet, but it involved, we had talked a little bit about Akira Toriyama, and it was no less than 5 hours later, news broke of his passing. Our hearts go out to Toriyama-san's survivors and everybody, the whole world who has been touched by his works. It's news that's not fun for anybody. And starting next week, we're going to do a special episode to commemorate his legacy and his works. Until then, enjoy the episode. The Critical Hit podcast contains foul language, sexual subjects, and other things that are inappropriate for children. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. This following episode also contains spoilers. Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of Critical Hit, a foul-mouthed podcast where we talk about everything. I am your host, Red King, and with me always is Crimson and Chrono Warden.
Once again, proving how weak and feeble the human body can be.
That's just your voice, dude.
I know. I was sick again.
You gotta do them throat exercises.
Wait.
No! Tonight, we're back at it again with the top 10. I forgot the naming convention, so I'm just going to wing it at the end of this shit.
Wing.
This should be in yours, part 7, I believe.
Sweet. I was going to say, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because number 10 was part 1, and then you go up from there.
So it's our fourth game.
Fourth! We're doing it. Are you guys ready?
We're ready.
We are Critical Hit and Top 10 Gaming Part 7! Start now! I was super excited to actually get that right.
I would have tried that, but I'd be like, Part 7!
All right, Toad, calm down. We're not playing golf.
Part 7!
Yahoo!
Top 10 games, Part 7!
It's fucking Mario!
You want to know what? Mario is not going to make this list. It's just something
Says fucking who?
It's not going to make my list.
I'll say there's 2 other people with lists here.
Princess Peach, Showtime, greatest game of all time.
I love it so much that it's made my list, even though I haven't played it yet. You want to know the type of person I am?
See him.
So before we begin, Chrono, you have the floor.
What can survive outside of the International Space Station?
Wait.
Hopefully someone in a spacesuit tethered to the fucking International Space Station.
Yes, it's time for a wacky world of science.
What is the world's strongest man?
Steve McGranahan.
World's strongest redneck, out there in space, just eating.
Unfortunately, he wouldn't have only a redneck in space. He would be irradiated.
So I watched a video about what would happen if you got stuck out in space.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, it was something I watched with the kids. I was like, this is probably gonna be a little bit bad, but generally pretty informative. No, it was
nightmare fuel.
I was like, whoa, I probably shouldn't have put this one on.
Decompression, baby. As opposed to what happens when you go into the ocean, which is compression.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pressure versus vacuum.
Yeah,
Oh my
and get
gosh.
squashed into the fucking.
Size
Anyway,
of a
the
baseball.
answer is lichens.
What?
Wait.
Wait.
Werewolves?
Werewolves?
No.
Fucking.
Oh shit!
It's a plant.
Don't fuck with me like that.
Lichen. Lichen.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
That's very disappointing.
In the same family generally as moss.
I thought just with this bit here, you proved the existence of werewolves and they could fucking breathe.
Yo, how
That would be a
Wow.
fucking cool game, though.
No, that'd be devastating.
Survival horror game on the moon
Oh,
with
dude,
werewolves.
You want to know?
permanent werewolves because
Yeah.
the moon.
Yeah, it's always full on the moon.
Yo.
Wait.
We probably. Yo.
Podcast over.
Trademark.
Yep.
Patent pending.
Yep.
Been a while since we did that one.
I took my headphones off and I almost couldn't put it back on.
But so basically what they were testing is they're trying to figure out if there's things that can survive in space. Lichen being a plant can produce oxygen, water, things like that. So they took lichen from Antarctica's McMurdo dry valleys. They survived for 18 months on a platform attached to the outside of the ISS's Columbus module. Though they emerged in worse shape than temperate lichens tested separately in quote-unquote Mars-like conditions, many still survive.
Okay, so first of all, a couple of things. Why Mars?
Mars like in
Mars.
quotation.
So just nothingness taped to the side of a fucking spaceship
Yeah, a piece of plastic.
is okay, but I guess Mars is just what, too dry?
So, no, they actually survived. The lichens on the space station fared worse than the ones that were tested in Mars-like conditions. The thing about Mars is that while it's fainter, it does still technically have an atmosphere. It just doesn't have a magnetosphere as strong as Earth's. That's why its atmosphere is getting blasted off by solar radiation.
Why have you said so much smart shit back to back?
You want to know what? It doesn't get any easier.
Yes, like my brain is moving a mile a second just to try to keep up.
Just to get left in the fucking dust.
So it fared apparently worse in the
In the cold
space.
fucking
Cold.
vacuum of
the
space.
cold vacuum of space as opposed to
Well, the idea is that they're looking at stuff they may be able to potentially start seeding Mars with, so we can start settling it.
So if you've watched Sailor Moon before, I want to start seeing it.
Was she even your favorite?
She was hot.
So, you want to know what? For a long time, Mars was my favorite. But you want to know Jupiter's that fucking sleeper hit? My days. Didn't even...
But so the ones that were run through the exposure to Mars, 60% of their cells basically stayed alive. So roughly 6/10.
That's not fucking bad.
So say, for example, you did find out you could seed Mars. What the fuck then? What are we going to do?
Well, the idea,
Let's go there.
So if you can start putting plants down, they can start the process of photosynthesis, which means you can start the process of building an oxygenated atmosphere. Or if you have a dome, you're looking to establish what's called hydroponics. It's a plant-based area that would produce oxygen inside it, so not everyone always needs their spacesuits, and you don't have to rely on pumping in chemicals and shit like that require heavy amounts of energy. If you have a dome that's just plants, the only thing they need is the sun.
So, okay. Well, that first of all, again, smartest shit I've ever heard. Second of all, we're trying to ditch Earth. That's what we're trying to do. We're preparing something to ditch Earth.
Well, it's the idea of we're trying to see if we can do it, right? Because there's even talk of doing stuff on the moon, like lunar colonies.
That would be a lot harder.
Well, they found water on the moon. You have to remember that. There is ice water on the moon. And the idea being that liquid is one of the heaviest things to lift off from Earth. If you just have to send the people and shit up from Earth to the moon, and then you have bases there that we would launch out to explore the rest of the solar system from, one, it's cheaper. Two, the moon is like fucking riddled with titanium and shit. This valuable minerals out the ass.
So sidebar, is moon water safe to drink?
Considering it's uncontaminated, you'd have to heat it up first, but yeah.
I demand a nice fresh glass of moon water.
Well,
why does that sound refreshing?
You also have to remember that the ambient temperature of space is 3 degrees Kelvin, which is 3 degrees above absolute zero. Because Kelvin does not do negatives, boys. 0 is the minimum on that scale.
We will go no lower. we're inefficient.
Well, generally, when you're doing high temperature stuff like that, you use Kelvin because it specifically does X amount, so you're only dealing with positive numbers.
Yeah.
Celsius, I think the formula is like you subtract 273 or something from Kelvin to get Celsius's number. It's something like that. I don't remember it offhand. As opposed to like the 9/5 plus or minus 32 bullshit for Fahrenheit to Celsius.
I don't understand why the fuck motherfuckers can't just put a regular ass number. Kelvin for the win, then.
Well, Celsius is also normal. 0 is water freezing. Celsius is what you'll deal with on Earth because anything in Kelvin on Earth is going to kill you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Barring like, whatever the fuck normal temperature would be in Kelvin. But 100 degrees Celsius is boiling water. So generally you want to be at like 40 and under because human body temperature in Celsius is 37 degrees or so. So see, instead of 98.6, it's a nice even fucking number.
Wow. Here's the thing. I did not know that that's how temperature worked. Like I'm gonna be completely like. So this is gonna sound really stupid. Get ready for some simpleton level shit here. Well, I didn't think that the different units of measurement for temperature was like that drastically. I thought it was just different ways of saying the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like for Kelvin, anything Kelvin to be dangerous on planet Earth, that's insane.
Well, I mean, so like obviously I can actually look up the exact range.
Because that to me is like, I'm like,
but
what?
Anything worth measuring in Kelvin is going to be dangerous because you're either down near 0 because you don't feel like dealing with hundreds of negatives in Celsius, or you're up so high that you're well above 100 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So I guess fuck Kelvin.
So just to give you an idea, the actual temperature of Earth's surface is an average of 288 Kelvin, which is 15 degrees Celsius.
Holy shit.
So, like I'm saying, anything worth measuring in Kelvin, you don't want to experience on Earth.
Right. If it's worth saying.
Like I'm gonna be fractional Kelvin.
Celsius?
Yeah. So like,
which is just advanced Fahrenheit.
I'm officially gonna get a fucking name tag that says fractional Kelvin.
So to get back to our titular story, so in outer space itself, with no protection from any kind of ionosphere, stratosphere, atmosphere, anything, around 35% of the lichen's cells still survived and were producing and photosynthesizing.
Why is this thing so fucking powerful?
Yeah, and the ones that survive are gonna probably breed and photosynthesize and create like better versions.
What is they would be lichen likes.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Like in space, you're dealing with temperatures hundreds or thousands of degrees below freezing or above, depending on your location. Radiation.
That's the other thing.
You're just getting blasted.
Yeah, nothing.
35% healthy cells.
So it's like cancer-proof plants or something.
But so here's an idea. Well, that's another interesting thing because that merits if we could like reproduce those cells to like grind them into medicine to fight cancer. Here's the thing, right? Basically, cell phones, any modern technology we have came about from NASA's research in the 50s and 60s.
See, okay, so
Because they had to figure out how to make shit work in space.
you listen, humans are fucking wild. Because, like, why? It's like, let's figure the space shit out. Wait,
Well, so here's just another idea. The radiation, astronauts on a 6-month mission receive up to 2,000 millisieverts of radiation per NASA. For comparison, personnel tasked with the Chernobyl cleanup received about 120.
Oi. Wow.
Next, there's the fact that nothing slows down in space, right, until gravity acts on it. So that's why Voyagers 1 and 2 are still going at roughly 60,000 miles an hour out past the edge of the solar system. And they're still getting data back. Like,
That's impressive. Wow.
and it's been almost 50 years.
They're way out there.
Well, like New Horizons is mapping the Kuiper Belt, and they're figuring out that our solar system's end is bigger than they thought. The Oort cloud is huge.
What the? Wait, but solar system. Everything's endless and expansive in space, anyway.
The Oort cloud and the Kuiper Belt is specifically where like the sun's gravitational pull ends.
Okay,
That's where it's not affecting things anymore.
and it's bigger than they thought it was.
Right, because there's a lot of like just extraneous ice and shit out there. The thing is that it's actually very hard to map our own solar system.
Why? Why as opposed to?
So one part is that using any telescopes on Earth itself, you have to deal with the refractive property and the dust of Earth's atmosphere itself. Then you have Milky Way dust that interferes with it. So anything looking back at the sun can't necessarily see everything. Plus, everything's in different positions at all the time anyway. The planets lining up is a fucking rare phenomena, right? Like Pluto's orbit comes inside of Neptune's for part of its like 400-year fucking cycle.
Dude. Okay, so
You want to know what I learned about space? It's like, I think our atmosphere or stratosphere, but it ends at like 62 miles.
Well, the last layer of the atmosphere is the ionosphere.
Right.
So the stratosphere is because where we live is the troposphere.
Yes.
And then it goes troposphere, stratosphere. There's a bunch of different layers. I haven't fucking remembered them in a while, but
I mean, you've remembered a shitload of other
It's like
things.
63 miles to space.
yeah.
What?
And it's 18,000 miles per hour, roughly, to break Earth's gravitational pull.
Why? Okay.
So you have to be fucking cooking.
Yep. So, like, that's incredible.
32 feet per second per second.
You're too smart. I quit.
Or 32 feet per second squared. Or 9.8 meters per second per second.
Or pushing, motherfucker, pushing.
But so
Fucking
the
putt-putt.
last big thing is that covering the velocity. So a 50 caliber bullet travels at about 0.86 kilometers per second. Meteorites can cover 40 kilometers in a second.
That-
As fast as fuck, boy.
Come get some. Like, it's not even, it just, the numbers are there, and I understand what that fucking speed would look like.
My thing is,
But
why
that bitch is bigger than, like, you know,
Well, it's anything shooting through space can move that fast, right?
Right.
But yes, we're talking about big ass fucking meteors like Sirius or anything like
yeah,
that.
a big, huge fucking rock.
everything in space is cooking by default.
Yeah. Everything is fucking going, like full send.
Well, so technically we're not even done with like our solar system's formation, right? We're still in what's called the accretion period. It's just cooled down a bit because not everything is still crashing into each other. Most of the big bodies have formed. It's just the asteroid belt and the fucking Kuiper belt.
Wow. So you have now dropped a lot of nuggets on this. I didn't even know that was the case. Wow. I have officially been rendered stupid in this wacky world of science.
Yep.
Like, it never fails. Let me just keep that straight. It never fails that I feel dumb at the end of these things. But I feel particularly dumb today.
Well, I wanted to be an astronomer when I was a kid, so
Well,
this was a particular field of study that I just pursued. Still do.
mayhaps it's not that far off.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Like, that's how bad you like. You're so fucking stone cold busted. That's all you can say is, well, shit.
Add a snap in there. Well, shit.
We are back with our top 10, boys. We are on number 4.
Number fucking 4. I'm going first.
Okay.
Cool. Recap.
It's fuck yeah. Sorry, I'm sorry.
That was sweet. That was sweet.
Yeah.
Total giveaway, dead giveaway. But
So, since Crimson is going first, I'll just do his list and then we'll have him do his number 4. We're going to change the recap today. We will recap everyone's list before they go.
Okay, I like that.
So,
Sweet.
Crimson, number 10, Crash Bandicoot Trilogy. The Insane Trilogy.
Fuck yeah.
Number 9, Jack and Daxter, The Precursor Legacy. Number 8, Devil May Cry 5. Number 7, Tekken 3. Number 6, Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2. Number 5, Onimusha Warlord / the series.
that was a really good one.
That's a good
That
one.
was a fucking heavy hitter right there.
So my next game, as on my little intro, my early intro,
Your pregame?
yeah. It's going to be Halo 3.
Ah, here it is.
So
Yep.
it had to make an entry at some point. This is a bit, for me personally, it's a bit divisive because I love this game, but for some reason I couldn't get it to break the top 3.
That's interesting.
Yep. I'm comparing it against other games, and I'm like, it's just not there. But it doesn't stop it from being fucking amazing.
Well, I mean, this is still top 4.
Yeah. So it's haymakers. You know what
Yeah,
I
like
mean?
if you were asked one of the top 10 games, the best ones you've ever played in your life, it's a good spot.
Yeah. It is a really good spot.
Yeah.
So it was originally released in 2007,
Mhm.
which is a long fucking time ago.
17 years.
Yep. I'm like, I played that shit on the 360.
Yep.
And it also makes you realize the 360 was released around 17 years ago.
Yeah, 2006.
Oh,
Yeah.
I still have mine.
That fucking console is amazing.
Still works.
Yep. I don't care who says what. That is one of the best consoles out there.
It's Microsoft's best console.
Yep, easily. And I think Halo 3 is unarguably peak Halo. It's when everything about Halo became perfect.
super agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's
only
never
thing
been better.
The only thing I will say that has gotten better in iteratives was Forge. Halo Reach's Forge was really fucking good.
Now, you are correct about that.
But the rest of the game, however, it's
Yep.
Halo 3.
And Forge originated in Halo 3. anyways.
Yes.
So we have Halo 3 to thank for Forge. And my gosh, has it become a staple in that series, which I think is a big reason to give Halo 3 an up, is that like heavy hitting things about that series
Yeah.
started in Halo 3. And the multiplayer was just chef's kiss.
Fucking
perfect.
amazing.
It
Yeah.
was the tightest fucking multiplayer. And honestly, I think it's the best multiplayer game that the best multiplayer shooter I've ever played.
Yep.
Like, as far as I'm trying to think of like what could be better, because Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare was pretty good.
See, the thing is that
Toxic is all fuck.
it's
but
not
pretty
that tight.
good. Yeah.
Yep. And that's the thing. When I talk about Halo 3's multiplayer, there was not a thing about it that I could look at and be like, this is stupid. You know what I mean? The gameplay was perfect. It was fine-tuned to something I have never seen before and haven't seen since in a shooter.
Right.
You know what
I'm
I mean?
trying to think, and even like going into like the stink that is battle royales, which first of all, if you're not Fortnite, Apex, or Warzone, stop.
Yep.
That market is crowded.
Yeah. Find something new to do.
See, now I'm trying to think. You want to know what was a great battle royale game? Tetris 99. Subversion. That's what that is.
But like, so I mean, just fucking yeah. Halo 3 had really tight controls. The movement was good.
Yep. And how the flow of the gameplay, because like that's the thing. There's a lot of games that mechanically are really sound, but just the gameplay loop itself is just unrefined. You know what I mean? When it comes to Halo 3, I don't know what they were. It's just Bungie and Microsoft Studios just firing at their best. And that was back when Bungie had Halo.
Yep. Before it sold off to 343 and then
so the thing there is that because Microsoft held the rights, Bungie was like, we want to do something new. So Microsoft gave it to 343, who has, let's be frank, fumbled it.
Yep. And I think that's the thing, because and Halo 3 was clearly supposed to be the send-off for the series. And I think that's why everything about it, because the story was amazing.
Right.
It was epic. And because every time there was a cutscene in that game, it felt so epic.
The music.
Yep, the music, the Arbiter being a actual real part of the story.
And a playable character.
Yeah, and being bad the fuck ass, bro.
Okay, that was the thing where it was bullshit, though. Elites. That was the big flaw in the multiplayer.
Worst fucking part. Oh my word!
That's the only flaw in this game. Really,
it was the meta, man.
It was a fatal flaw.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't, because you could still get it popping.
So here's the thing:
you could, but everyone that was getting into it was playing an elite.
If you were just flexing, you played as a Spartan, though.
Yep.
And I decked my fucking Spartan out. He had the fucking Hayabusa shit on his fucking helmet. Like Ryu fucking Hayabusa. Come on, boy.
But,
I had that shit. I was like, headshot me. I fucking dare you.
That's what I was going to say, right? Because the two games that immediately followed were Halo 3 ODST and Reach.
Yeah.
Which are both good games.
Reach, I think, is the only one that managed to hit me harder with the ending of the story.
Right. But the big thing is...
it was sad as fuck.
Yes.
Yep.
But the big thing about those is that it's telling different stories, right? The problem with 4, 5, and Infinite is that they're trying to tell Chief's story.
Yeah.
You could have just done a new Spartan.
Yeah. And also, I'm just going to throw it out there, and maybe it's divisive. No one gives a fuck about what the Spartans were before they became Spartans. I'm just throwing that down right now. I don't give two shits about who they were.
Well, that has more to do with the books.
Well, yes, but
the books were supposedly very good. I've never got into them.
I've never gotten into them, but here's the thing.
I mean, that's where you have bullshit like Chief using a metal plate to fall through a planet's atmosphere and live.
But like, here's my thing. Not every video game protagonist needs to be this big fucking fleshed out deep character.
Fair.
Fucking Doom guy. I don't give a shit if you're just in there kicking ass and that's it. All Master Chief was, there was some hints about how fucking tough it was to become a Spartan and the experiments and this, that. But at the end of the day, what Master Chief was a certified badass.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the best version of Master Chief.
Yep.
That is the version of Master Chief that I just want in every Halo game.
No soft shit. And,
Yeah.
And like it may sound a little like fucking toxic to say it, but fuck soft shit on this.
Yeah.
Like,
We don't need, like, there was a weird thing about Master Chief and Cortana, right? Because of, what Cortana looks like and all that shit. And essentially what she's supposed to be, which was John's girl there.
Catherine Halsey or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, she was the doctor that made the Spartans.
Yep. Yeah. So, like, fair is fair, right? that's as far as it needs to go. Don't go any further into it. Just let Master Chief be a badass. The Arbiter, if anything else, was kind of the more poetic one and all that. And let that be that. Let that be the fucking dynamic. That's it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That would have been perfectly fine. And
because nobody was complaining that Master Chief wasn't deep.
yeah, come
In
on.
3,
bro.
they were like,
Well,
yes, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Chief was never supposed to be. He's the vessel through which you experience the story, but that's about it. That's what he is.
Yeah,
People got to be unafraid to just do that.
yeah, exactly. And I think that that's what, like, you know, and that's what I mean by it was pinnacle. You didn't have to have this whole deep fleshed out story. Halo 3 was just, it was just cool. You got in there and you felt cool.
Yeah.
A scene would happen and it would be, you know, just somber music, like, and it was never like overstated. It was
Fuck
really
Jackal snipers.
Jackal
You want to know? I was just about to talk about that. The first level in that game, still like one of the best like first levels.
Yeah,
Because you're with the Arbiter and you're just fucking trekking through the jungle, just fucking taking people.
Yeah.
yeah. And then you find Master Chief and his suit is all locked up because he done plummeted.
He fell through the atmosphere. He
Like,
jumped.
yeah.
Well, when Halo goes Rambo, you know it's good.
Yep.
And like, that was one thing.
Oh. See, the show should do that tagline.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. They could have made the show really cool, but
So like with the multiplayer, that was one of the games. I think it was one of the few games I think I could say without any hype. I think we could have probably been winning money on that fucking game.
yep.
Yeah.
We got so deep into the fucking meta, and like we were trying to like develop like different shit.
Mhm.
Because if you point down when you run, the Spartan's head will drop,
Mhm.
Yep.
and it makes them harder to headshot.
Yep.
And like that's the and like oh my gosh, like the heat maps on all the fucking we were looking up heat maps on all the different maps and stuff, trying to
Yep.
figure out like which spot had the most action.
Yeah, and we were never afraid to get into it. The grenade bounces, our ricochets were amazing.
Yeah.
When you get the frag grenades and you ricochet them around the corner,
Yeah.
that was like spectacular. We knew that you could huck a frag grenade as far as you wanted. Nothing would happen until it bounces once.
Then
It's got to bounce once, and then you can get that boom. So you could do all types of crazy. You could throw it at your foot and just bounce it and send it to somebody so it pops up in their face and then boom.
Yeah.
That's how I love to start my encounters.
Yep.
Everybody was because you know the gameplay generally went if you are like foot soldier ground to ground, you shot somebody as you're running up to them and you melee.
Hit him with the melee. Just
That was the move, right? But when you start that engagement and you bounce a grenade at somebody and it blows up in their face, you just mow them with a little bit of ammunition and you're ready for another engagement. It was just
and barely losing any
Yeah.
shields.
yeah.
Like making motherfuckers quit.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And that was a crazy because they didn't have the live rosters.
yeah.
So like you could really fucking troll somebody and get in their mind
Yeah.
and just make them fucking leave.
Yep. I'm telling you, dude.
There was nothing that felt better than fucking making a whole team just quit.
Yep. Yeah. And then Griff Ball, dude. Like, can I tell you, like, the debut of Griff Ball, and it changed everything. It had been in every Halo game since. You could play Griff Ball.
Yeah.
And stupid levels of just when you talk about pinpoint, where you know exactly where this gravity hammer is going to land, you know where that shockwave goes, you know what kills, you know what bounces back. Like it was a fine-tuned machine, boy.
I don't know, like, yeah, there was so much intricacy. There's so much tech to it.
Juggernaut.
Yes.
Yep.
And like you could, for some reason, I don't know, it was like crazy. It was so simple that like it didn't hide it from you.
Yeah.
You could sit there and if you put the fucking time into it, you could just fucking learn it.
Yeah. And if you had an energy sword in Griff Ball, you're a madman. but watch out for that guy.
Yep.
Because he's going to sit there and he's going to bait you into swinging. He's going to stutter step and then sword charge you. And it's the most insulting thing.
You want to know what's fucking straight dirt when you can get past their line and they're focused on the ball and you just do nothing but just sword charge and you wipe a whole fucking group, send them right back to spawn. I got the ball, bitch. What now, bitch?
So Griff Ball was just Blood Bowl and Halo.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. That's exactly what it was.
It was so fucking good.
When I say, and it's just hours and, seasons passing, you know what I mean? Before, like, literally, it would be like spring, summer, fall, winter, Halo fucking 3.
Yep.
It didn't matter.
It was for hours.
Dude.
For fucking hours.
Like going from drinking some nice, icy, sweet tea to hot cocoa. and you're just Halo 3 all fucking day.
Go touch grass. I am in game. Fuck off.
Yeah,
I am in game. Fuck off.
There is, I can't even tell you, there was so much to it. And we even got deep into trying to find all the skulls.
Yeah, we got all skulls.
Yeah.
Because like there were a couple of them that like were really fucking crazy. Like where they what level was it where they did the computers?
Yeah.
They had like the Marathon Durandal references and all that shit with like AI rampancy.
Was it 3 where you had to like steal the Banshee in the beginning to get like to the top of the broken bridge?
Yes. Yep. That was 3. Yep. It's crazy, man. Like
we got all skulls.
Yeah. Yep.
Fucking.
Oh my gosh, dude. It was just, there was so much in that game. I don't even know. I can't like tell you how like wonderful that game. Like if they could fire those servers back up right now, I'm in.
Well, they have it in the Master Chief Collection, available on Xbox Game Pass.
Bye, guys.
All right. I'm taking next one.
Okay.
Taking it.
You got next. You got next.
I got next. I'm up.
All right. So, Red King's list. Number 10, Saints Row 3 with Sexcalibur, even though that wasn't its name. Shame on whatever studio that was that no longer exists. Your purple dildo sword should have been Sexcalibur.
Yeah. You had your chance. What was the actual name of it before we continue?
I think it was a Violator.
Oh, dude, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think it is the Violator.
Number 9, Half-Life 2, while trying to shove in an entire engine catalog.
That's it. Yes.
Source.
That's a bit of a stretch.
You want to know what? No regrets.
You'll never live that down.
I should have tried harder.
Number 8, SSX 3. You could have made your entire top 10 Source Engine games.
That would make me a little simpy.
a little simpy.
Yeah, then you have to, the Sony simp and the Steam simp would have to fight in your head.
That's true, because I'm both of those.
Number 8, I think I already said, was SSX 3.
Yep.
Number 7 was Unreal Tournament 2004.
That was a good pick.
Specifically.
Number 6, Final Fantasy X.
Mm-hmm.
And number 5, Spore.
That was
as we discovered, you can still play. It still exists.
You know what? Fire that shit back up.
Get fucking lost in it.
Yeah.
Do you have your activation code?
Wait.
No, I didn't get the email. You cannot use this software.
You could buy it again if you want.
Of course I can.
Fuck you.
Fuck. That was really EA's first foray into egregious bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, and like jumping really quickly into the technology when it wasn't ready.
Yep.
The digital rights management bullshit, it kind of works now. Like, somehow. I don't fucking know.
It really doesn't, though, because literally there's fucking like digital rights management software that just fucking interferes with people's shit.
Be like, yo, are you sure you got this though? Be like, I fucking just paid
there are
for
games
it.
where if you change your keybind, it will accuse you of cheating.
Fucking stupid.
I stand corrected. Yep, I stand corrected. Awkward pause. But I got this number 4, and it's a fucking good one. I Fun fact, I was going to put Halo 3 right there in the top 4. I'm glad I called that audible at the last second.
Yo, that's
Still
funny.
do it.
I will not.
I will not.
Next week, our next episode of this particular series.
Yep.
Halo 3.
I,
And then we just clip Chronos or Crimson segment in again.
yes. I've got Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Wow. What a great game. Not doing
Pokemon
that.
double penetration. Got it.
Oh.
Like that in and of itself, one of the reasons why it's the best
Yeah.
because
It's a whole different ball game.
It's
And
a
when you-
DP.
and when you put platinum, it's like DPP, which stands for like double. Never mind.
Wow.
Oh, whoa.
Degenerate.
Absolutely.
You just hit me with a fucking Mario.
Yes.
Yep. So that hit almost too perfectly. It did hit. I don't know, like it kind of made the microphone crunch in a weird way that had that N64. That was something else. It released in North America in 2007.
Oh, 2007 was a good year.
It's when the first Mass Effect
Oh,
came
shit.
out as well.
Wait, so you mean to tell me Mass Effect, Diamond and Pearl, and Halo fucking 3 all came out in the
Are
same
you
year?
fucking kidding me?
That was a packed fucking year.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Holy shit, bro. That's incredible.
That's crazy.
Wow, 2007 was fucking
Yo.
popping. Wow.
Peak fucking year, dude.
Wow, dude. Yeah, that really hits. That really hits.
Oh, damn. BioShock, Super Mario Galaxy,
Whoa.
Team Fortress 2,
People were fucking.
God of War 2,
Whoa.
You're just trying to be fucking broke.
Rock Band,
fucking whoa, spoiled.
Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Portal,
Poor people because they spent all their fucking money on video games.
Crisis,
What?
Guitar Hero 3,
Which was actually the best Guitar Hero.
The Witcher 1,
Holy shit. They
Wow.
were going 2007, boys. That was fucking hard.
Is there a year that went hard?
There's been a few.
Hardest year in gaming.
That could be an episode.
Okay, boys.
Yeah.
Do your homework. It's
Let's get back to
2023 has potential for that.
Yeah, that's a fucking hard year.
so this game was a number of firsts, right? Because I got really deep into Fire Red and Leaf Green. I went super hard on Ruby and Sapphire before that. So I'm kind of like no stranger to the danger of Pokemon, but you want to know what? So you want to talk about kind of like peak art style? I think that that was one of the peak art styles for Pokemon was Diamond and Pearl.
Yup. I completely agree.
Because it had the best mix of CGI, not CGI. Why am I fucking CGI? Like 3D models for the environment and the 2D sprites all meshed together.
Yeah, that was the first time they really did big camera work.
Yep.
Yep.
Lots of pullbacks and like different.
Because that was the DS one.
Yeah.
so-
And they really, they did utilize that crap, bro.
So when the DS first came out, like it wasn't as whatever horsepower as the PlayStation Portable, but
Which was also a peak handheld.
Mostly because of the shit you could do with it.
yeah, they really wow. Like Sony, stop fucking up on the handhelds.
Well, rumor has it that they may be doing a Vita 2 depending on how well the Portal does.
Let's go.
It's like
Cease and desist, Sony.
So it had the first iteration of like online play as well. We're talking first like 3D environments, first online. It was just first. And I don't think I've ever maybe actually I'm kind of lying to you because Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were the next, I think it might actually be the most time I've ever put into a Pokemon game. But this fucking
Shield
game,
is mine.
I might have put some time into Shield. I'll have to look it up. But this was like 300 plus hours.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I do remember my old save. I miss that save.
That was me actually learning how the system worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a time in every Pokemon player's life, right? Where you can look past doing moves that only did damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. You start getting them builds, bro.
Yeah, where you start to put like different like, why does my Charizard know flamethrower, fire blast, fire spin, like, and maybe fly.
So at least Fire Spin also has a status effect.
Yeah,
That's DOT.
Actually, I was not a fire spin like in my youth.
I didn't appreciate it.
It didn't do enough damage.
That's what it was, because I was fucking edgy.
Like, I gotta have Fire Blast. Why does it miss so much?
We were like those douchebag rivals who are like, you're not strong enough.
Yep.
Then you hit them with the fucking Stun Spore, and they're like, what?
Like, what is this?
And playing
Why did your Butterfree jizz on my Pokemon?
and like playing these games as like a Fire Red Leaf Green player, friggin' Ruby Sapphire player, and getting pissed that the enemy was using status effects.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, dude.
Like, why are you fucking confusion, paralyzed, poison?
Be a man!
Be a man! Fucking slug it out! Slug it out, fight me!
No, one of the saddest moments of my life is when the internal clock on my silver cartridge finally died.
Oh wow.
That really hurt, my dude.
Wow, dude. Holy crap.
And then I just fucking dropped dead. That is big fucking hurt, bro.
So I do want to point out, because there's a kind of a really unique memory that comes with Diamond and Pearl, that they're at our local GameStop.
Oh shit!
They had a tournament, a Diamond and Pearl tournament.
Okay.
Then if you won, you could win Pokemon Battle Revolution, which was yeah. And like, man, when I say that I got there, I went there and I got to the last round, dog. And this freaking kudos to you, whoever played this. This motherfucker in his switch out game was so fucking annoying.
Baton Pass?
I fucking
No,
hate
it was straight switches.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He was raw dog switching, and it was like weird because he picked my whole shit apart. I don't know if he was watching me earlier in the competition, but he picked my whole shit apart.
Nah, so when I lived in Virginia, I was friends with a guy who does the Pokemon games tournaments professionally.
Right.
He wins money from them.
Woo.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've never been so disappointed in my child heart as
That's the only like actual competition we've ever entered.
yeah, yep. And I was so shocked because I made it so far, and you would have thought that would have and it did. It ignited a flame in me that made me want to be competitive in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl specifically. I've never been competitive in any other Pokemon game after. I'll be completely honest about that. Too much time and effort.
Sword and Shield I was raising a lot of
So
Pokemon,
Sword and Shield made it super easy, right? Like, it was real good to get a competitive team because you could know right from jump. Once you beat that game and actually get into it, it was just fucking wild. Like, I still am raising some of them.
Yep.
And I think that's why Pokemon should stop the yearly cycle, which they are, because like nothing's coming out this year, right?
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends ZA is the next one.
Yeah.
Which
Could be really cool.
I gotta tell you, I'm actually pretty excited for.
I'm interested in it because like I like the idea of them going super in depth into what is effectively the capital city of one of the regions.
Yeah.
Because like imagine if we got like Legends Kanto and we got to do Saffron like that, or Goldenrod from Johto.
Oh wow, that'd be really cool. That'd be really
Like
cool.
like a whole Silphco plotline. That should be.
well, it's one of those things. Like I posted an article on the Twitter, right? Like was like, I kind of hope there's no fucking load times if it's all in one city.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I hope Nintendo put it on the Switch too.
That 2025 release date might be.
So
Just saying.
where I work, I deal with a Nintendo rep. This isn't anything official, but basically like the catalog merchandise and stuff that they're getting for the Switch only goes up until a little bit into next year. So there's even they are starting to think, because like they're asking about, they're getting surveys like, oh, do you still have your copy of Yoshi's Woolly World? Like games that nobody's really played in years.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
That was a sick little insider knowledge drop thing.
yeah,
That was
I
pretty
like-
fucking cool.
I like what you've done with the place.
So that was so back to Diamond and Pearl. Like that was the. I also think it was kind of like arguably the last time when a legendary was like very fucking cool. And like
yeah.
so the legendaries of that game, they dealt with space and time.
I did kind of like Black and Whites.
Zekrom was just fucking Palgia.
I don't know.
'Cause-
Zekrom and Reshiram were pretty fucking cool.
I didn't like
actually liked
Reshiram.
them.
I thought Reshiram looked like a weird fucking like. So it looked just too fluffy. It looked like a big fucking weird poodle.
So the thing is that, so full disclaimer, I've never actually played any of the Gen 5 games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I went from Gen 2
I think you've said this before.
to Gen 6, back to Gen 3.
Yeah.
Got Gen 7, was like, didn't really do anything for me. Got Gen 8, really, really loved it. Like, completed the Pokedex for the main game, DLCs, all of it. Got Gen 9 and was just kind of like,
Gen 9 did really weird because I finished it, but
I don't think it was bad. I think it was too ambitious.
yeah.
Like, they released 2 Pokemon games in the same year.
Yeah.
And Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl came out the November before Legends Arceus released. So in the span of 12 months, they had 3 Pokemon games,
yeah.
which for your meta fucking sucks, right?
Oh,
Because if you're
absolutely.
trying to build the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remaster comp teams, but then Scarlet and Violet come out, most people have probably moved on to Scarlet and Violet, right? Especially because the Diamond and Pearl remakes are such point to point, right?
Yes.
Like including if you don't take the fire starter, you better get a fucking Ponyta, boy.
Yep.
Yeah. This is true. This is true.
That game had a decent amount of difficulty as well. I think maybe I'm just looking back on it with like child eyes, but that I think Diamond and Pearl was, you know, I keep saying the last of, but I think it was the last of the games that didn't do a hell of a lot of like hand holding. Black and White were actually really good too for that.
So Pokemon,
Yeah.
I will say, once you reach a certain point, it's just like once you start discovering the meta of like different move styles and
Yep.
like status moves are worth it, the games don't really hold that much challenge anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, and I do think that's kind of synonymous with Pokemon in general. But I do agree that I think that they're just how it was set up. I think Diamond and Pearl offered a decent amount of like challenge.
Yeah.
Because like not for nothing, most Pokemon games start with gyms that you could steamroll with any Pokemon you can capture on the first round.
And the amount of different connectivity options, Wi-Fi connection for the first time.
Yeah.
It had bonus Pokemon that would appear if you had a specific cartridge in the DS slot.
Yeah.
You had just straight migrations. It felt like a very DS game. Like it's so perfectly encompassed not just Pokemon at that time, which I think it was, and so fucking disappointing, the Switch remakes.
Yeah.
So fucking disappointing. But
It's the same game.
I don't like the art. It just doesn't feel. It just doesn't have the feel.
Okay.
They did. It's one of those weird situations where I think they didn't go big enough.
Yeah, like you either had to make it really big or make it pixel perfect.
Yeah, just a really fucking good looking version. I would have even taken pixel graphics.
Yep.
Really fucking.
Because it wasn't Game Freak that did that. They loaned it out to another studio.
If they did Octopath Traveler style crap, but Pokemon,
That'd be cool.
2D HD remakes are. I'm waiting for the Dragon Quest 3 one, boys.
yeah, that's the shit. But they had the Underground too.
Yep. They had
Yeah.
the amount of mini games that they had were spot on.
Not ADHD friendly.
No, yeah, you didn't get far.
Yeah.
It's like I can do everything.
Choice paralysis. Fuck.
Exactly. The secret base was unapologetically nice and customizable.
Yeah.
Like secret bases have never been right since.
Yep. They had,
And they even fucked up secret bases in the remakes. They did weird things with them.
just did weird
Reminds
things.
me of fucking like Pal World.
Pal World.
Plagiarism.
I haven't gone back to it.
Oh shit, really?
It was a hard stop.
Yep.
I just reached a point where I was like, So I went
Okay.
back to Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Damn it.
Almost done with my second playthrough.
Not even that far into my first. Let's go.
But I think that the Pokédex was, one of those, like it hit well.
Yeah.
That generation's Pokemon were nice.
Who were even the starters?
It's
Torterra or
Turtwig,
Turtwig
Yep. Chimchar,
and
Piplup.
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 Yeah, so it was like, that's the penguin.
which
Yep.
they were all freaking adorable when they started out, and they actually evolved into cool looking.
Yeah,
Like,
I like
very
all of
cool.
the starters.
Yep. And it's like, and that's the thing. I think that you're right. It had great looking Pokemon. You still had national decks, so you could get all the other Pokemon you wanted. They actually had like,
So not gonna lie, that's not a feature I miss, boys.
What?
whoa,
Okay, think about it.
that's the hottest take.
That's a spicy fucking take.
Of the 1,000+ Pokemon that exist, how many of them do you actually give a shit about? It's probably less than 50. Not counting legendaries, it's less than 50. I promise you.
Fair.
And as long as they include like 10 to 15 of your favorites in every game,
So here's the thing. This is the reason why I take issue with them not having the national decks. Check it out. Because they decided to make new games and reuse old assets and still not give you every Pokemon. Just so that they can release it in DLC form.
Bothersome thing, I could speak English. The bothersome thing to me was that there were a couple of Pokemon that are still on Pokemon Home now
yeah.
that I still cannot use. And this has been for, a couple of games now.
Yeah.
That's funny because, like, as far as I know, you should be able to put anything into Sword and Shield. They just don't all have a Pokedex entry. Because I've gotten shit that has no Pokedex entry.
So I think that's the other thing that I also have a problem with is that it's like I don't like lazy development, right? So if you sat there and you said there's no national decks, right? there's only a select handful, because I think, what is there, like 200 something maybe in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
It's 400.
It's 400. Yeah, so 400 something. So that's actually a pretty decent number.
Yeah,
but instead of, and it was really bad when it first got released because they didn't have much of anything.
Yeah.
And you released it, and you still have these, all the new models are decent looking at best, and all the old models look like N64 models. And you're like,
those silly bastards fucked up my all duck run.
So, I mean,
A lot of ducks didn't make it through.
So that's the thing, right? I think we've talked about it before where we would like to see a game where you can go through every region and like pick your starting region.
Yes.
I think they have to do that sort of a large scale game to really put every Pokemon in.
yeah,
And the current hardware can't handle it.
nope, not
Fair.
at all. Not at all.
If they made it pixely, they probably could, which brings me back to Diamond and Pearl. I think that was peak Pokemon to me. I think that's probably the best that it's the best and most engaged I've ever fucking been with a Pokemon game.
You should really
Yeah.
like Soul Silver and Heart Gold then. 'Cause that's the same generation.
Those
So weirdly enough, we
see-
started that. We did start that around the same time. But you know what? There was everything about the style and feel of Diamond and Pearl was just weirdly attractive. And it was the perfect summertime game.
Yeah.
Like you just hot as shit outside, freaking whatever your cool drink is, and then you just sat there and you played Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
Yep.
And it was just insane. I don't know what they did with it. They put crack on the cartridges.
Guaranteed. It was crack cartridges. Like how the Switch be putting like that bitter shit.
yeah.
It was just crack and it was fine. People loved it.
All right, Oregon. So, back to it, folks. Chrono's list. Number 10, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, 1. Number 9, Fire Emblem, Awakening. Number 8, Jade Empire. Number 7, Cassette Beasts.
That's still a shocking
All
one.
role playing.
Yes. Number 6, Wild Arms, the series. Number 5, Chrono Cross.
Yeah, you aren't the RPG guy.
Number 4, Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age.
Okay. So, first of all, it's a Dragon Quest game.
Yep.
So there's gonna be a lot to it.
Yes.
All right, go for it. Because I actually wanted to play Dragon Quest 11, but I just one of those games.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it's one of those ones I never got around to.
It's the fucking game that never ends.
So I've heard.
This motherfucker took me 150 fucking hours, but I did 100% it. So
You're a mad lad. Okay.
Wow.
So walk me through the greatness of this game.
So the game starts. Your character is approaching his 16th birthday. It turns out you are the reincarnation of the chosen hero.
Yep.
Is every Dragon Quest hero the reincarnation of a chosen hero?
No.
No.
Okay. Because I think to the Super Smash Bros. Final Smash, where it's like all the Dragon Quest heroes.
So the main character generally just bears the title hero.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
like a divine, it's a role basically given to them by the goddess.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
So, because like, for example, the heroes in Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are descended from the hero of Dragon Quest 3. Spoilers, people.
Yep.
Well, hopefully you played those fucking games if you had it.
Well, it's about to get worse. Dragon Quest 11 is a prequel to 3. Kind of. It's actually a prequel to all of them.
Oh.
So there's that for you. But so you start out in a small little town called Cobblestone, little farming village. You live there with your mom and your grandpa, and like you've learned to fish. You've been a mostly good kid. Your character, you actually find out, was kind of a brat growing up, Like he put a frog in like the item shop lady's water, so when she opened it, it would hop out and scare her. Like it's funny. So the big thing about conventions in Heroes is that generally if you're talking about their game, you just give the hero the number of the game. So 11 is what I'll refer to the hero as for this game.
Okay, gotcha.
Just to make it simple.
Yes.
But 11 actually has a lot of personality for a silent protagonist.
Yeah. Which that's I like kudos to that because it's so easy to phone in the silent protagonist. Like, oh, he's supposed to be the stand-in for the player, so he doesn't do shit.
Well, that's an interesting
He's just quiet and he stays out of the way.
thing about the differences between, say, JRPGs and WRPGs, right? WRPGs, we have a lot of characters like Geralt, things like that are very... I mean, Geralt's about as close as you can get to a Western silent protagonist.
Yeah.
Because even in games like Fallout, right? Even though you don't have voice lines, your character still says a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, yep. Yeah,
As opposed to the just yes and no you get a lot in JRPGs.
yeah, like you can get a lot of what that character is, even if it's just dialogue in Western RPGs.
But,
Like
yeah.
even the text box has
Yeah.
some personality.
But that's the great part about 11 is that 11 has quite a little bit of personality. Like he technically even has voice lines in battle. Like if he gets hit, he grunts, he makes like, "Oh, I got hurt." He doesn't say anything, but
Yeah. Well, see, and that's one thing I think that it's kind of like the Legend of Zelda Link kind of
yeah.
kind of deal. yeah. Where it's like that's just become iconic just because of his battle noises.
Well, so I'll cover a little bit of what I've seen about Dragon Quest 12 towards the end of this segment, but so you have 8 characters in this game, which is about fairly standard for a Dragon Quest game. You're looking at generally 4 to 8. Depends on the game. But so you have our hero, the Luminary is his technical name.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you leave Cobblestone, you go to Heliodor to meet the king. He's supposed to recognize you as the chosen hero that's going to beat back the darkness.
The one badass.
He calls you the Dark Spawn and the reason why monsters are returning to the world. Has you arrested and condemns you to death.
You shit.
Right off the bat, big fucking twist for a Dragon Quest intro, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because going back to Dragon Quest 3, you are the son of the previous hero.
So yeah, you're already known.
Or daughter. You could be a girl in 3.
Oh, okay.
You could be either.
So you're already known to be like good.
You reach the age of 16 because your dad died when you were like 4.
Of course, you can't have a dad in a JRPG.
You have your mom and your grandpa.
Yeah.
You're going to notice that's a common theme in fucking Dragon Quest games, boys.
Being a dad is like the worst thing you could be as far as
You got to be a grandpa.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
Only
gonna be like, you need to have a kid as soon as possible. I need to live.
I want to live. I don't want to die. When you're like either, a baby or like when it's really important that I should die.
Yeah.
Like it's going to change you as a person. Fuck that.
like your son is born and then you adopt a child under his name. Fuck you, Destiny.
I want to live.
Fuck you, Destiny.
But that is where you meet your first party member, Eric, the broest of fucking bros.
Broic.
Dude, I would recommend playing this game for Eric alone. He is a great fucking character.
Really?
He's the Brooklyn guy, though. Every game's got one.
What's going on here?
It's so out of place with like the Scottish and the high English.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But there's a little bit of Scandinavian in his accent too. So he's a Scandinavian that moved to Brooklyn.
That's a weird one.
You know what? I need to experience that.
What the Verharfenduven's going on here? I'm walking here.
I'm walking here.
Don't make me get my axe out. Are you Are you gonna play a guitar right now?
You're gonna play guitar right now.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Just cross the street, man. I can imagine the confusion on Superman's face.
Like, wait a second.
Superman, he would just blast him.
Eric
like-
could live because he's better than Superman.
Yep.
But Eric is a thief.
He's a Brooklyn thief.
Yep.
So here's the cool part about Eric. He's super into his faith.
Huh.
He was told by a seer that if he went to prison in Heliodor, he would meet someone that would redeem him.
So he became a thief to go to prison?
Well, he was already a thief.
So, okay. So,
But so Eric's story, you find out him and his little sister were kidnapped by Vikings and basically had to serve their food. They were the house slaves for the Vikings.
yeah.
And in his story, this is going to be pretty fucking spoilerific, people. So
he's like, be prepared.
you find out he gave his sister an amulet that turned her to gold.
Boy.
It was a cursed amulet. He thought it was just a pretty trinket and was like, hey, I'm going to go off. So he blames himself for that.
Oh,
So he finds a sage who was like, if you go to this kingdom, you will meet someone that will redeem you, the chosen hero, the luminary. You get thrown in jail as the luminary, and the next morning you're supposed to be executed. The idea being that if you die, the monsters will go away.
wow.
Like,
Like I
welcome
said-
the Luminary, and he will save us all. And the king's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Well, you find out that the king has basically, for the past 16 years, been spreading shit about you.
I heard you bitch was talking to me.
Keep my fucking name out your mouth.
But so, like, the first continent is just you and Eric.
Huh. And you're about to go to the king and you're gonna luminaire him out.
So basically, he ends up breaking you out of prison. You travel through a couple towns, you escape, but you're being pursued by knights the whole fucking time.
Oh yeah. I mean that makes sense. That's fair.
So you eventually reach a portal gate, you warp away, so you escape. You're on a different continent now. You spend a great deal of time on this continent.
Do you
And
have
one of the
diplomatic
coolest-
immunity?
Well, nobody there knows who the fuck you are.
Fuck.
That's about as good as you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But you meet Veronica as the next character you meet. And she is your resident powerhouse mage.
Okay.
And she has undergone a de-aging curse.
Oh no.
Some monsters tried to steal her magic, and it also de-aged her.
So she's an adult, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a fucking spitfire, though. She is fucking hilarious.
okay. Okay.
She is fucking like, she always hits things with fireballs and cutscenes and shit.
sounds like a wizard.
Yeah, yes. But you actually meet her, and you are supposed to go find her twin sister, who's still captured by the monsters.
And not de-aged.
No,
Okay.
they're planning on stealing her magic too, but you interrupt the ritual.
Okay.
Serena is fully aged.
Okay. What does Serena look like? Just for research purposes.
Yes,
You
research.
fucking dog.
Dragon Quest has kind of been like waifu quest a little bit.
I think there are certain games that have become synonymous with like get your wife. You know what I mean? Even if it's not like a literal thing. Yeah, she a wife. She's like the.
I think now I'm thinking about Dragon Quest as a series. It's like Akira Toriyama styled waifus.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like, because Chrono Trigger had kind of Trigger. I always get them fucking confused. I always say it and then I have an anxiety attack.
Chrono Trigger.
Yes, Trigger was Akira Toriyama's
Yes.
art.
And it was very Dragon Ball ish. Actually, no, it was really fucking awesome. I'm thinking about some of the character designs that were really fucking awesome.
It was Dragon Ball.
Yeah. But like, well, that's the thing, right? Yuji Horii and Akira Toriyama are friends. That's why he does the art for these games.
Like, hey, bro.
That's a cool combo. Let's be real about
Yep.
that. That's really fucking cool. Like, yo, can you draw me something?
And it makes the whole like
it's an iconic art style, right?
It's making me like dread the future because eventually we're gonna have to deal with a world without one or both of them.
Yeah.
Listen, we already lost Uematsu. We can't lose Toriyama and Hori right now.
Yep. Let's just figure out immortality, please.
Uematsu.
Yep.
That fuck. Oh wow.
Let's figure out immortality, please, before we lose.
Well,
any more grades.
so he said with Uematsu specifically said with the time he has left, he just wants to focus on like his music outside of video games. He'll still do like tracks, but he's not doing a full soundtrack alone anymore.
Yes.
That's kind of beautiful though. Fairness, that's beautiful.
Well, because he has music outside of video games, right? That's what he's trying to focus on as he's on his way out. Like,
Yeah.
Crazy. That's a fucking crazy concept.
Sad.
it is, but I mean, there's a poetry to it.
Yeah.
There is, and I think that's, more power to you, and enjoy your final moments.
Damn, that got way too deep.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, man. Oh, my
Well,
heart.
so it's the four of you running around. It's 11, Eric, Veronica, and Serena for a while. You end up meeting a fifth party member along the way. Name of Silvando. You
Okay.
meet him in the Kingdom of Gallipolis, which is famous for its horse races.
That's kind of cool.
I
that they
haven't
have
gotten
type
that
of
far
world
into the
building.
game. Is there a horse racing mini game?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! I'm okay. That's it.
World building. I love
Yep,
that shit.
that's the end.
I
That's
love
gonna be me. Because that's one thing I'm a fucking sucker for is when you get an RPG and they put like a fucking mini game into it.
Yeah.
Like horse
You
racing,
can win
chocobo
pretty good
races,
shit.
Yep. Horse racing,
chocobo racing.
Yep.
Yep.
the chocobo races, any like triple triad, the
Yep.
the
Card
blitz
game.
ball
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Final Fantasy X, freaking what they had something in 12.
12 had a lot.
Oh, what? There was.
There were I can't why can't I remember it? Because it kind of trapped me for
Oh,
a
I'm trying
mad
to
long
remember.
time in that fucking game.
Why am I'm thinking about when. So
Ma-
that's,
Maybe it wasn't a mini game per se. Maybe it was actually trying to get something.
Was it
Yeah.
like the monster hunts?
I don't know. It might
Because
have been.
that was a whole fucking thing.
There was something that caught me for a mad long time.
Completing the bestiary in Final Fantasy 12 is a fucking woo.
I really gotta play Final Fantasy 12.
You can get it on Switch,
Anything.
Xbox.
I
yeah.
actually have it. Well, I don't have it on the fucking PlayStation, which is broken right now. Fuck.
Eh. But Silvando is a circus performer. And you end up recruiting him. And Silvando's funny, right? Turns out dude has really good sword skills. He's a really good like entertainer. There's a whole fucking layer of shit to Silvando's character that I'm not really going to spoil.
Yes.
He sounds like kind of like Robin or Nightwing.
A little bit.
Weaponized circus.
Well,
performance.
so the funny part is that you do learn more about him, and the circus thing came after the swordsmanship. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Yep.
Probably cut the wrong person's head off.
No, he just didn't want the lifestyle his father had picked out for him.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Good character building.
He wanted to pursue his mother's career path.
That's adorable.
She was a circus performer before she met his dad and settled down.
That's fucking adorable. Okay.
So far you have our hero, a thief, your
Bard, basically.
yes, Silvando's the bard, our wizard, and our cleric, if we're going by D&D classes.
Yes.
Up next, you get your monk, who you meet you end up going to an MMA tournament.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
So it's masked martial arts. Everybody, it's basically like MMA and
Lucha Libre.
Yes, Lucha
Oh.
Libre combined. And it's hilarious because Silvando enters as a separate team from you, and everyone like the fight, because every Dragon Quest game has a bestiary. The fight for him is like, we all know who this is, but we're gonna entertain him and act like we don't. Like, there's a lot of little shit like that in the games, like menus and stuff that has a lot of little character.
Yeah.
Yes.
but you meet Jade.
Okay.
And she has 0 magic. This is a rarity for characters in later Dragon Quest games.
Yeah.
In 3 specifically, you could make warriors and things that didn't have magic, but once you get into the job switching, you could start giving everybody fucking magic. But she does still have MP, but it fuels pure abilities. Like, she has no fucking magic spells or anything.
I like that, though.
And she's one of the strongest fucking party members.
You know what? That's cool. Because, like, I have a thing for, like, the hand-to-hand style combat and everything.
You're going to like the next guy.
Okay.
Rab. The guy who taught Jade and raised her because she lost her parents when she was young.
Tragic. Classic tragedy.
Very tragic.
I'm picking that wording specifically because once you play the story, you'll understand why I use that phrasing.
Okay. Okay.
There's a whole extra layer of shit I'm not going into for Jade and Rab here, but he taught Jade, he raised her. So everybody there is an 8th character that I'm not going to spoil.
Okay.
Just for the sake of you two potentially playing this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to. Well, he is already.
You want it? Yeah, because like...
Yeah, but he's not at Gallipolis. This is a 3-act game. Gallipolis is maybe a third of the way through Act 1.
Yep.
Whew. Strong.
So Dragon
classic.
Quest is famous for its fucking insane post game.
Because I hear a lot about Dragon Quest games, essentially, like, it's like 2 full stories and shit like that.
So
Like,
quite literally 3 is Act 1 happens. You go to Act 2. More shit happens. A lot of people are fine with the story ending there. Roll credits. Post game is Act 3. Has whole new story beats for everybody. All your characters get unique equipment and shit in the post game. Because you go back around the world and learn more about it and shit.
Oh, that is fucking
It's
cool.
fucking deep.
They need to stop being so fucking egregious. Some of us are just like, they can't do that.
Well, I have the game on Switch, so I have that luxury of being able to play in handheld mode.
You want to know what really was the last Dragon Quest game I finished?
Shoot.
Was Sentinels of the Starry Sky.
9.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I do remember
Yeah,
that.
just to give you guys an idea, Dragon Quest 11 has shipped over like 5 million units.
That's amazing.
It's the best-selling one.
That's amazing.
Wow.
And that game,
Good for them.
so when you watch it in motion, it is something fucking special.
Right.
It
You're
is-
talking about people that know how to push the hardware without overburdening it.
There is so much, it's so smooth,
Yeah.
so crisp and so high def. It feels almost like, and with that art style and the amount of color, it feels like your eyes are getting massaged. This is the best
So-
way I could describe it.
Here's one for you. You can play the entire game in 2D in old school fucking
Mad
Dragon
Lads.
Quest.
Mad Lads.
Yes,
bro.
it's great because you can do a section in 3D, switch to 2D, and it'll reset you to a certain point in the story. So you can double up on like legendary items and shit.
They're fucking mad. They're mad.
So
That's cool.
They don't give a fuck, bro. They will
11S
fuck you
Echoes
up.
of an Elusive Age added so much shit from the base game that released on the 3DS and the PS4.
That is wild.
Like it added an entire like section of dungeons that is only in the 2D style. Like,
Yeah, they will fuck you up. They don't care.
yeah, it's truly Dragon Quest 11 is a love letter to the JRPG.
Yep.
Yeah.
The classic JRPG.
Yes.
Not the, I'm going to say it, not the stupid fucking new version.
Yep. Yep. I
Like the westernized, like handholdy, like not fucking have some confidence, guys.
Yep. Yep.
We can fucking do it. A lot of us guys who are fucking playing these games been playing for decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck with me, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might not have time, but I can get into it. Like, I was trying to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm still trying to, like, slog through that. It's like, come on, dude.
It don't
Did you
hit-
beat the original?
Yeah, I got
the original Final Fantasy VII?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
for the Oh, the PlayStation 1 version.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
The remake, it's pretty,
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that sucks.
but they're like, I've seen some of the fucking pre-release stuff for
Rebirth.
I know. I'll have to
It's like
see.
Final Fantasy VII Extreme Beach Volleyball.
But
Yeah.
moving on. So I'm going to go through everybody's skills real quick because that's been the big thing since really 8, maybe 7. Everybody has unique skill trees. So 11, our hero. Boy is a swordsman. So other heroes get other options for different weapons, right? Your boy has swords, great swords, sword mastery, and then luminary as his unique tree.
Just swords.
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 Do you want to use sword and board, dual wield, or great swords?
Like what you want? Swords?
I want to use a spear. No. I'm a swordsman, sir. We don't do spears here. Our boy Eric. Swords, knives, boomerangs, and guile.
What is guile?
Guile is just like trickery. It's stuff like that.
Right, okay. Because why did I think I'm like this motherfucker he's throwing sonic booms out here?
I mean, I think that might be the name of one of his boomerang attacks.
Awesome.
But like, so dual wielding, as far as I know, this is the first game that really had like dual wielding weapons.
Yeah.
So the hero can dual wield swords. I personally like him with great swords more because then he's not competing with Eric for the same shit.
Yeah.
And the hero is also really your only character for a while that can use heavy armor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's basically the great thing about heroes in the Dragon Quest games is they can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
They're always going to be one of your strongest people.
Yes.
The problem is that once you hit late game, they end up with so many good abilities that it's like, the problem is there's only one of him. And you might need him to do all of those things in one turn.
Let me hit you with that double up.
Well, Eric has an ability that literally is almost like the shadow clone jutsu. He makes 3 copies of himself and doubles his damage for that turn.
Fucking cool. What a cool person.
Yeah, Eric is fucking worth it alone to play this game. He is one of my favorite characters in a game. I love this game's entire cast, which I cannot say about every game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up next, you have Veronica, which is heavy wands, whips, and vim.
Whips.
Stop.
Okay, right.
Serena is wands, spears, and harpistry.
Okay.
Like a harpsichord.
Yeah, she has a little one that she like can buff your party's elemental resistances and shit.
Bonk somebody upside the head with it.
Eh.
Kakunk.
Our boy Sylvando. This is a long list. Swords, knives, whips, lithness, showmanship, and chivalry.
Chivalry.
Because here's the thing, right? The character's skill trees advance through the acts of the game. So once Act 1, you're limited to so much. Once you hit Act 2, you unlock a little more. And due to story reasons in Act 2, shit gets wild for some of the characters. And then Act 3, you kind of like have to merge timelines. So you unlock everything for everybody again.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So Jade is fisticuffs, spears, claws, and allure.
Allure.
I'm curious as to what Jade looks like.
I'll pull up a picture.
I have to see. It's the allure.
The allure.
Like, do you truly have it?
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Waifu.
Oh, I've seen her before.
I wonder where.
I just fucking told that myself.
Amazing.
Oh shit!
I expected it. But amazing.
My bad.
You just hand him the rope, he'll hang himself.
Yep. Every
Up
time.
next, our boy Rab. Rab is interesting because he's a little bit of... So he actually has the ability to use claws, heavy wands, and enlightenment. And dude has a walking stick. Even if it's not his equipped weapon, you can't take it from his inventory.
Huh.
Oh, I love
You
that.
probably fall.
Yes, he can't walk without it.
That's cool though.
But that's where it's cool because like Jade has claws, and like even her stance and claws is kind of similar to Rab's.
That's really cool.
Like it's a little detail that's like super cool. And then 8, who I'm going to refer to as that for the sake of avoiding spoilers,
Right.
which is what most people do online. Shield, swords, axes, great swords, heroism, and fraternity.
That's got to be like a really fucking. That's got to be like some type of crazy throwback shit.
He's a great character. Like the interplay between 8 and 11 is really fucking good.
Okay, I'm sold. This is gonna be the thing where I actually do it. I talk a lot of shit. I talk big game. I'm like, I'm gonna, yeah.
Well, so this is one of my other favorite parts about this game, right? So you know how generally in Dragon Quest, if you get certain pieces of equipment, you can give your character a different outfit.
Yes.
You can actually save them as skins in this one. So even when that gear becomes no longer relevant, if you like the outfit, your character can still wear it.
Yeah, that's cool.
They did that with Xenoblade Chronicles,
Yeah.
the remake for the Switch,
Mhm.
Yep.
and that it's cool.
Your boy Eric has pirate.
See you around, everybody. Pirate gear. That's it. I'm fucking sold. You know.
Dude, he can dual wield fucking swords. Some of the swords look like cutlasses. He's a weird pirate ninja samurai. Eric's fucking cool.
All the coolest shit.
Yep.
All the coolest
All
shit.
the coolest shit.
From Scandinavia, Brooklyn.
All the coolest shit. That is amazing. That is phenomenal.
But yeah, just it's the care that went into the game, right? And I said I would end with what I know about 12. They haven't revealed a lot because Yuji Horii got a lot going on right now, right?
Yes.
He's working on the 2D HD remaster of Dragon Quest 3, and all he said is development's still plugging along, and he's working on Dragon Quest 12. Dragon Quest 12 is supposed to be a darker game than the other ones. It's called Fight for Fate.
Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
Like they did like an intro of like the title screen, and it's basically like a bunch of sword slashes that are on fire for the Fight for Fate. So it's Dragon Quest and then a bunch of like scorch marks with a sword.
So they're definitely seem like they're going for like a darker theme.
We'll see what happens, but yeah, that seems to be the intonation because like I'm hoping it's still a vibrant game, but Dragon Quest 11 is very colorful.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful game, even for being almost 5 years old now for the elusive edition, almost 7 for the original.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I agree that I do kind of hope they keep that vibrancy because a lot of games, and I think games are getting better at not, I guess, like having the muted, weird color palettes.
Well,
But I think it's almost to the opposite effect where it's not just good art direction that gives them a good color palette. They just like splash everything with gross amounts of color.
So I will say generally Dragon Quest has a common theme of a quote unquote dark world. Dragon Quest 8 in particular, you go into it a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's a very shocking change because your character is still color.
Yeah.
Like they've still got their normal color scheme. And you go to this world and it's just it still has the Dragon Quest vibrancy, but it's black and white.
That is.
Oh.
Dragon Quest, okay, you have to understand.
I remember Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest 8 almost made this list.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Had Cassette Beasts not been where it was, that was originally Dragon Quest 8's spot.
Wow.
Wow. So there would have been 2 Dragon Quests on your list? Okay. Dragon
That
Quest
would
is
have
a fucking power
Yep.
hitter.
It really is. And like,
Yo, the 3DS remake of Dragon Quest 8, which I guess you can't get anymore because they shut that shit down.
not
Fuck
if you,
Nintendo.
not if you've did some crazy modifications to your console.
Just don't use Yuzu.
Use.
Yeah, they Icarus themselves.
Oh,
Amazing.
of course.
Rest in peace, Yuzu. Yuzu will be missed.
Yeah, don't fly too close to the Nintendo sun.
Yeah.
It will fucking strike you down with legal battles.
Couldn't
Lawyers, I choose you. Fuck!
couldn't do it with Cassette Beast though.
Well, Cassette Beast, first of all, is different.
Or not cassette. I'm at
Power
Power World. Sorry, I was thinking about
Power World might still go down.
Power World's like sweating.
You got to remember, Nintendo isn't going to do anything prematurely. The thing about Yuzu is that they were running ROMs for current games. So like the ones where it's only like Super Nintendo and Game Boy Advance games and stuff like that,
kind of letting them slide.
Nintendo could technically shut them down because it is a copyright violation, but they would have issues proving damages to their profit for games that are, 15, 20 plus years old, that they don't have a modern remake of.
That's fair. That's fair.
So it's one of those things where like some of the other ones just kind of, one, they're not bragging about it on Twitter.
Fair. Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna fucking try and emulate Nintendo software, don't be on a massive public platform advertising it.
Like, hey, y'all go pick up that shit that lets you steal.
Right. Fair enough.
Get all your modern games free.
Yes. So, again, this is one of those games where if you have the time, one, Dragon Quest is kind of an inherently kid-friendly series, right?
Yep. My kids are watching the new Dragon Quest. It's like kind of a newer one on Netflix right now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
they're kind of doing. It's like a little bit Pokemon-ish.
Yeah.
Well, so I actually have the new Dragon Quest Monsters game. I am playing it currently, The Dark Prince.
Oh,
it's pretty good so far.
Huh. Yeah. So that's the other thing.
They don't stop. They don't stop either.
Just be hitting with anything, spin-off.
Well,
and
it's funny because it's such a niche series, but like that was a lot of like the argument that was coming up about Pal World, right? Is that if you look at the original Dragon Quest game, came out in the 80s, well over a decade before Pokemon. If you're talking about copyright infringement, a lot of the monsters look similar, but that's the thing, right? Like Sea Serpent, which is Gyarados.
Yeah.
There's only so many fucking looks you can give it, right?
Yeah, like you could only do fins and scales and angry eyes so many different ways.
Right.
Like, you're really
And
going to come at me for this shit.
But
well, that was the thing is that like they're similar, but they're both Japanese companies, so they're both pulling heavily from Japanese lore.
Yeah.
But you want to know something about Dragon Quest? Apparently, they actually will they'll waive absences at schools.
Oh no, Dragon Quest can only release on a Sunday in Japan.
Yep.
Oh,
because if it releases on a weekday, it will shut down the economy.
Yep.
That's how popular that game is over there.
Yep.
And I am fucking happy to keep having those games come over here.
Yeah.
I will fucking support that shit till I die.
If you don't like it, fucking die first. And with that, we have reached the end. That was amazing.
That was hard hitting. Those
and it just keeps getting better.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening to our video game list. I fucking love you.
Yep, that sums it up. Find us wherever you find your top fucking tier peak podcast.
Yeah, the peakest.
Subscribe.
The Pikachu.
Damn, girl, let me get Pikachu. Anyways, find us on the Spotify, the Googles, the Apples, the iHearts, Pandoras, all the best ones, for the best podcast. Subscribe on YouTube at CritTube. Follow us on the Twitter at CritHitOfficial.
Yeah, you can talk to me.
Yeah. Yes. Jump on there.
Man.
Yeah, jump on there. Comment.
Yeah. Engage.
Fucking talk to him.
We appreciate all of the interaction from very few, but someday we will be. Hopefully, you're famous.
We're on that grind, folks.
We'll be hymns, not the product.
Yes.
And not the weird thing from Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
New episodes every Friday, unless certain motherfuckers get sick. Until then, press start.